So in a way, your role is to help someone initially figure out where money is leaking personally in their life.
Yep.
And once you've helped them figure that out, they've got extra cash flow or less expenses.
Yeah.
Right. And then from those savings, you're helping them to deploy that to create passive income.
Yeah. Or even just the cash they got sitting around in savings, right? Like that's, most people coming to me usually have cash sitting around now. They're like, okay, how do I get my money working for me so I have to keep working so hard for my money? And so you get that money, let's deploy it, let's get it moving into there. Let's see if we can make it work, you know? And sometimes we'll even like run it through things like, you know, like life insurance or something like that. Like run it through and back out so we can double dip and double arbitrage our money and do all kinds of fun
what does
stuff.
that mean? I mean, you just said a lot of really big words there. So
yeah, arbitrage.
So what does it mean? Well, you should probably initially explain what arbitrage is, because I know we do it. That's what we do in wholesale.
Yeah.
By definition, we're arbitraging.
Yeah.
But not everyone knows what arbitrage means.
Yeah.
So let's elaborate on what arbitrage means.
Yeah. The easiest example of arbitrage is look at the bank, right? Yeah. They borrow your money. They go into debt to you when you put money in savings, and then they turn around, they loan that money back out to make money. The cool thing is if a bank, with them, they can loan out up to 10 times their money legally. The big five, they can do up to 40 times.
Is it 40?
That's what got them in trouble during the last recession.
It's too big to fail.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac was like 100 times, you know, so
wow,
that's why they need the bailout. They're a little bit too upside down, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, at least usually at least 10 times. And so they use that money to go in and arbitrage it, right? They create a higher return than what they're paying on it, which, like you said, in wholesaling, it's kind of what you're doing as well. I mean, you're doing it like with almost an infinite rate of return in some ways. You know?
So basically, the example, you borrow at 2% and you lend at 4%, and you're just collecting the difference between the two. Right.
But the difference, though, is that it's not just 2%, is it?
It's 2% times 10.
Because if you pay 2% and you earn 4%, yeah, that's not 2%. That's 100% return because you made double on that money, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So then, the whole life insurance. Can you elaborate on that? Because I don't think everyone knows what whole life insurance is.
Yeah. So whole life insurance, you know, everybody knows term insurance. That's death insurance, right? Whole life actually has a component where you can build up savings. And there's other things like universal life in various forms, right? But there's only one type of insurance that you can use where you can get that kind of arbitrage, where you can double dip, where you can have money over in the insurance earning interest, and you can get a line of credit against it, whether from the insurance company or from a bank, get a line of credit against it to use that money to invest in your deals, right? So like, for example, you know, like say somebody wants to buy a turnkey property, it's, you know, they're just going to put the 20% down, right? So they put down $40,000. Well, you can have that money come out of savings, but when you move the money out of savings account, right, the $40,000 is now gone. It's not earning interest in the savings account.
It's not
anymore.
earning the 1% anymore.
Yeah, it's not earning the point nothing percent, right, that you get taxed on.
Yeah.
You know, but it is out there working for you, which is good. But again, it's gone. And then you take the cash flow and you try to rebuild it back up again so then you can do the next deal. Same strategy you can do with life insurance, right? You can put money in. Now there's cost of insurance and things like that, but if you do it right, where I call it max ROI, infinite banking, right? Where you get the lowest cost possible, so then your money's growing and not only is it growing tax-free, right, which is kind of cool, it's earning more than point nothing percent. It's earning at least 4 or 5% just by itself. Not sexy. By the way, you can never retire off of this thing. You need real estate. You need these other investments, right? But it's earning 4 or 5% at least tax-free. It's also, in most states, protected from lawsuits creditors 100%.
Right.
So even if you got millions of dollars in there and you get sued and they win, they can't touch that money. They can touch your savings account. They can tap into that all they want.
Yeah, but this is another form of asset protection.
It's another form of asset protection, right?
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, you know, again, if you're leveraging that money and you're lending that sucker out, I mean, now you get this, you know, nice aspect where you're in debt to everything. You can't get sued for equity you don't have, right?
Right.
So basically, we're just borrowing from the money that's already in there, just like if you got a collateralized line of credit against a savings account.
Yeah.
Right. But again, we don't want to earn point nothing percent. We want to earn more than that. So, like for example, I have a policy right now where they pay 5.75%. Right. That's the gross return they pay me. Now I have a bank line of credit against that same cash that I can get at 3.25%. So I've got this huge spread already.
So bank line of credit secured by the whole life policy.
Secured by a whole life policy. Yep.
Did not know about that option. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually you do it through the insurance company, and usually it's like 5%, and that's cool. But with the way the rates dropped, I've been telling my clients instead, I'm like, hey, let's switch over to the bank here because the banks are giving me at prime rate minus a half, but they bought them at 3.25. I'm like, if I borrow at 3.25, it's earning 5.75. I'm making money there. and I'm making money on whatever I invest in too. So that turnkey property, I'm getting my cash flow. I'm using that to pay back towards a line of credit that I can just turn around and use again, right? And again, it's not like a bank, well, it is a bank. If you use the bank, it is a bank line of credit. But it's not like the typical bank line of credit where in the last recession, the danger was there is that they could cut it anytime they wanted to. Be like, we're done. We can't do it. Here, because they know the cash is there, it's secured, and it's guaranteed to never lose money. They're willing to give you like 100% loan against it.
Yeah.
And so you get this double dip effect. Usually adds at least another 3 to 5% return on top of the return you get for that property.
Well, what I like about this